Wildlife safety within the Mystery Flesh Pit. Visitors and wildlife within the Mystery Flesh Pit often frequent the same areas within the park. It is likely that park wildlife and visitors will encounter one another, but by remaining calm and following the basic advice of experienced veterinary biologists, you increase the odds of a positive outcome for both yourself and the wildlife. Know before you go. All visitors who partake on self-guided excursions beyond reinforced and enclosed trails within the Mystery Flesh Pit are required to attend an orientation at the lower visitor center. During this orientation, a park ranger will inform you about areas that are closed to visitors due to high fauna activity or recent wildlife/human encounters. It is important to be aware when camping and hiking within the Mystery Flesh Pit and to avoid wildlife foraging areas, chimal deposits, gastric bladders, surface wildlife carcass mounds, etc. Contact park staff to obtain current information on wildlife safety issues. Note: once inside the greater anatomy of the pit, rangers may be able to assist you, but ultimately you're on your own. An experienced free climber approaches an illuminated field station. Photo copyright Void Expeditions. Identifying park wildlife. Fungal growth. While not typically considered wildlife, large fungal colonies are commonly encountered throughout the Mystery Flesh Pit and should be treated as potentially dangerous. Many varieties of fungal growths exist native to the pit, though they all share a few common characteristics such as proximity to amniotic spring fluid bladders, as well as spores which are toxic to humans. Park staff routinely prune known fungal outcroppings which attempt to grow near developed areas of human activity, but visitors should remain alert so as not to accidentally stumble or fall into a colony. Compound surface fauna. On rare occasions, abyssal cephalopods and other park wildlife will venture outside of the pit and pull surface animals such as deer, livestock, coyotes and rabbits into the Mystery Flesh Pit. If not eaten by park fauna, these animals may undergo a fascinating phenomenon known as anatomical amalgamation. This process, which is not fully understood by park scientists, results in the creation of a compound organism which is a hybrid of constituent surface animals. No two of these amalgamations are the same, though the resulting physiology often results in similar conditions such as partial fusion of major body elements and relocation of internal organs to locations on the exterior of the body. Because of the gruesome and seemingly haphazard nature of the combinations, many compound surface fauna do not live beyond a few hours or days from the time when they're discovered. Should you encounter a shambling compound surface fauna, please do not feed it or otherwise engage in activity which could prolong its suffering. Note: in the extremely unlikely event that you encounter an amalgamation containing one or more human constituent organisms, contact the park ranger immediately via one of the emergency telephones installed along trail routes. Identifying park wildlife. Microbacteria. The most common organism encountered by park visitors during excursions into the park are the various subspecies of microbacteria. While resembling their microscopic counterparts, these creatures are multicellular and reach sizes of up to 12 feet, 4 m, across. The feeding mechanism of microbacteria is believed to be related to cystic nutrient ganglions found within the Mystery Flesh Pit, around which microbacteria congregate in substantial numbers. Osmotic diffusion of proteins, lipids and minerals from within these ganglia into the microbacteria appear to drive their asexual reproduction capability. Microbacteria often migrate in colonies consisting of many dozens of individuals throughout feeding areas within the pit's anatomy. Though generally passive in nature, microbacteria are aggressively territorial of feeding zones and pose a risk to human life through suffocation via an oral groove, or through caustic bifurcation. Abyssal cephalopods. As the name suggests, abyssal cephalopods tend to avoid lights, machinery and other human activity whenever possible, preferring to reside in deeper areas within the Mystery Flesh Pit. Unlike microbacteria, abyssal cephalopods are predatory and survive by hunting other life forms within the pit. These unusual arthropods have hard, chitinous carapaces coated in a waxy secretion which allow them to easily slip and travel within the pit while remaining somewhat protected from conventional deterrents such as firearms and electric discharge weapons. Abyssal cephalopods are considered hazardous to the safety and well-being of park staff, park visitors, as well as commercial mining operations within Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. Basic safety tips. As the number of visitors to the Mystery Flesh Pit increases, so does the number of human/wildlife encounters. The vast majority of these encounters do not result in wildlife injury or fatality. You can help prevent injury to yourself, to others, and to park infrastructure by taking a few basic precautions. Minimize disturbance of anatomical fauna. If you see flora or fauna within the park and it does not appear to notice you, back out of sight and change your course. Move out of the area or quietly observe at a safe distance without approaching or otherwise disturbing it. Disturbance is evident whenever wildlife change their behavior because of you. If it stops eating and looks up/raises its antennae/secretes and enzymes or begins making territorial clicks while trying to locate you, you are too close. While many life forms within the pit seem to be tolerant of human presence at distances farther than 200 yards, each creature is different. Use telephoto lenses and endoscopes where possible. Allow migrating bacterial colonies to pass by your camp undisturbed. If you have made sure that the wildlife is aware of your presence so it is not surprised and have kept all of your gear under your direct control, allow any organism you encounter to travel unhindered. You may just be afforded the opportunity to safely observe these amazing creatures in their natural environment. Exercise proper equipment handling. Do not leave equipment unattended. This includes tent frames, tents, climbing cleats, water bottles and weapons. Consider using a portable electric fence to discourage aggressive wildlife such as cephalopods from investigating your camp. In areas with damage to amniotic bladders, minimize the amount of fluid that contaminates your gear and clothes. Many life forms within the pit have extraordinary senses of smell and depend on phosphoproteins within the fluid in order to survive. Some will attempt to hunt you if they smell strong concentrations on your persons or equipment. An adult cephalopod emerges from a barrow photo void expeditions.